Good morning. My name is Tony Giannoni, and as the immediate past president of the Australian Institute of Architects, I recently chaired the jury for the 2023 Paula Whitman Leadership in Gender Equity Prize. I was joined by my fellow jurors, Marika Newstepany, Julie Willis, Tiffany Liu, and Nicole Mosquito-Mendez. The Paula Whitman Leadership in Gender Equity Prize was initiated in 2017. This Australian Institute of Architects Prize is awarded to a person who has demonstrated exceptional leadership and made an outstanding contribution as an Institute member to the advancement of gender equity in architectural practice, education and governance. The Paula Whitman Leadership in Gender Equity Prize is named after the late Paula Whitman, a Queensland architect, university professor and renowned advocate for gender equity in the profession. Her 2005 study, Going Places, The Career Progression of Women in the Architecture Profession, is considered one of the most important documents in understanding the expectations of women in architecture. This year's recipient of the Paula Whitman Leadership and Gender Equity Prize has shown ongoing commitment throughout her career through dedicated advocacy for gender equity and diversity, impacting and educating the profession in regard to our ethical responsibilities and moral obligations. Her demonstration of these values is evident through her practice, which strives to build on these core values. I am delighted to announce that the 2023 Paula Whitman Prize for Leadership in Gender Equity is awarded to Emma Williamson. Congratulations, Emma.
Throughout her career, Emma Williamson has advocated for gender equity and diversity, educating the profession on our ethical responsibilities and moral obligations. She has also demonstrated the value of this advocacy through a more relevant model of practice that builds on these core values. Williamson's reflections on the imbalance and inequities apparent on social and business fronts have resonated both inside and outside of our profession. At the same time, they have empowered an intergenerational discourse that encourages equity in all aspects of what we do. Leadership requires the strength to point out the obvious, often through personal experience. Building upon Paula Whitman's legacy, Williamson has exhibited the courage to reflect on the imbalance that has occurred and the conviction to ensure we advocate for equality. Congratulations, Emma Williamson.
Thanks, Tony. I'd like to thank the Institute for awarding me the Paula Whitman Prize. I'm extremely grateful and humbled by this recognition. I would especially like to thank Lee Hillam and Michael Smith for nominating me and working behind the scenes to pull together the submission along with Emma in my studio. 10 years ago, I had the great pleasure of getting to know Lee and Michael when we all met at the inaugural National Gender Equity Committee meeting in Melbourne. The committee was formed at a time where there was little or no visibility of women at a state, national or senior management level within the Institute. I feel proud of the groundwork that we put in place that helped support the significant shift to the prominence of women that we see in the Institute today. Over the past decade, we've also seen a substantial shift to empower women working in architecture, catalysed by the incredible commitment of Parla and its allies. Throughout my career, I've operated in two modes. The first within my individual practice and the second as part of a much bigger professional body. This has had the positive effect of connecting me to a national network of thinkers and doers. I've sought out and been supported by so many women architects, and I thank them all. In both practice and profession, I've looked for ways to be useful through incremental improvement. I've been encouraged to engage and advocate for structural change by amazing women such as Naomi Stead, Shelley Penn and Justine Clark. These women have led by example and continue to set the bar high. They are a constant reminder that we need to keep talking and advocating to make things better. I have seen firsthand the incredible skill, empathy and agility of architects like Kirsten Thompson, Abby Galvin, Rachel Neeson, Mel Bright, Claire Cousins, Rachel Nolan and Amy Muir, to name but a few. These women have carved out meaningful and impactful careers through their own practices and have been generous in their contribution to our profession. Unfortunately, I have also seen scores of talented, energetic and amazing women who have been overlooked and undervalued in larger organisations. Gender equity is not a women's issue. It is the pursuit of balance to give everyone access to the same opportunities and requires sharing power for a mutually beneficial outcome. We all have a lot to gain. The pandemic had the effect of catapulting architecture into the exploration of flexible workplace practices. We need to seize this moment, ensuring that everyone has access to alternative ways of working as we continue to seek gender equity. The past couple of years has also seen a welcome shift to considering issues of equity through a broader lens. There is an awareness and concern around the impacts on mental health of work practices, an understanding of gender issues that extend beyond men and women, the need to create safe spaces for work, and a growing acknowledgement of our First Nations people. This year will be particularly important as we move toward the referendum with knowledge and compassion. Thank you once again for this recognition.